So I saw like this game was being advertised, so I looked up videos because it said it was like Genshin Impact without the gacha, and those games always look really cool to me. But the only thing is, I'm not gonna pay money for anything really, like outside of the game and maybe stuff I really would like to spend on, but I'm not going to play a pay-to-win game. So I saw that this game was like the Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves or whatever, but they took the gacha out of it, and I was like, hey, then we should check it out. I've never played anything like these. And this game is called DragonSword Awakening, and this is KydroTV's video. They removed the gacha and its amazing DragonSword Awakening's first impressions. And I thought we could check it out.
What happens if you remove the gacha from a gacha game? You have great action combat, you have every character obtainable for free just by playing the game, you have great gameplay content.
Hold on, what did he say?
Character obtainable for free just by playing the game. You have great gameplay content, infinite stamina. You can do any domain and dungeon as often as you want, meaning you can infinitely farm for your gear and min-max the hell out of it. This is pretty much DragonSword Awakening, everybody. Sitting at 92%, very positive on Steam, having 200,000 units sold already, and the developers having a roadmap and upcoming plans for the future. Even more free obtainable characters coming out. We might look at one of the biggest surprises of the year with this game.
We might check this out.
I'm going to give you guys my first impression of the game, why
we have to check this out.
Game is truly fantastic, and we're also going to take a look at the later part of the video, what the developers have actually in store for us in the future for this game, because this game
is like a poison assassin
as a live service kind of game. But now, let's get into it. A lot of people call this game Genshin Impact, but it's $30 and every character is obtainable for free. It's an open world, team-based action combat game. We have multiple characters that you can get inside of the game. You see like this assassin girl, this archer girl. We got different type of weapons. This guy has a two-handed sword. We got abilities like elemental skills, similar to Genshin. I'm not gonna confuse you guys too much, but I'm gonna show you this talent tree right here that gives maybe a little insight of what this game has to offer. We got equipment systems similar.
I like how he's like, I'm not going to confuse you too much. And the talent tree is like a linear line of 4 talents.
To Genshin, we got somewhat of a weapon system as well, where you have to kill monsters in the game to obtain it. The difference though with this is there is no stamina. All right, so this is every gacha player's dream. If you open the map here, there's no stamina on the top right corner for the gacha players to know what I mean here. You can literally just...
Is that like you able to do dungeons or missions? Because that, I feel like that's very mobile game like. Yeah, I feel like that's very mobile game like, is to have like the stamina bar, and it's like, use the crystals to refill your stamina. And then obviously they feed you tons of crystals in the beginning. And then you're like, you use them all and you're like, this skin's pretty awesome. Let me just buy some more. But whenever I think, I'm like, let me buy some more of the game currency to be able to continue to play. That's when I'm like, nah, this is a trap.
Go here to a dungeon, which gives you literally gear, and you can farm this indefinitely. You can do this as long as you want. You can get new gear that gives you like randomized stats of it, of course, pretty much similar to Genshin and all the other gacha games like Wuthering Waves and Zenless on Zero. But I think a lot of people are not getting the description of the combat right. It is kinda like Genshin. I would rather describe the combat of this game slower paced, and it's more heavier. It feels better, I think, in my opinion, than Genshin. There's also no elemental reactions to my
I don't like
knowledge.
the camera.
The game is also just focusing more.
That just, I didn't like how you see what I'm saying? Like,
there's also no elemental reactions to my knowledge. The game is also just focusing more on...
If you can change the camera view, I think that would be, it would be a lot better. Like, maybe not necessarily MMO style where you're almost bird's eye view above, but that just seemed like
interacting
messy.
with your different teammates. There's like these intro skills that pop up every now and then when you do like a skill and then you swap into the character. They do like a crazy animation. It does a lot of damage. It's a bit like a reaction that you do with your teammate. You like start with one character into the next one, into the third one. It really is quite of a satisfying gameplay combat loop. Another massive difference to Genshin is that this game has like elements that is inspired from maybe Dragon's Dogma 2 or even Monster Hunter, I would say, because you got like these crazy situations where you can grab on.
It's funny he says that because I have been having a Monster Hunter. I've been fiending for some Monster Hunter, dude. I saw that they did like an update. I'm thinking of downloading, starting from scratch, and then we have a run. We have a new Monster Hunter run.
Onto the monster or to the boss, and you can just stab them while grabbing onto them. You're like on the back of them, you keep stabbing them, and it actually does a lot of damage. If you ever played Monster Hunter, very similar to that, where you just do tons of damage just sticking onto the boss, and it also kind of breaks them. There's like this breaking bar. When it's empty, he's just falling onto the ground. Honestly, this combat is just super satisfying so far. I also like it that there's only 3 character teams, because yes, there is actually more than 3 characters in the game, since this is kind of inspired of a gacha game. So if we go to this exchange menu here, you will actually see a bunch of more characters. There's actually more than in the list here. There's also characters that you just get from the story. Awaken? But more importantly, how do you even get these new characters? So in the game, when you do story quests, you will get fate invitations, and then you can just choose which characters you want. I'm not that far in the game. As you can see, I only have like 2 of these characters. Right in the beginning, you actually can choose one of these 5-star characters, which are really good, and I chose this one that you see right here, and I chose Kalien. Didn't really look into the meta stuff, because there is actually quite some meta stuff going on YouTube especially. I see
Number 1, the rule of cool. And by this, when you play games like this, he's got, if it's you pick a dude, he's got to be crazy badass, or if you pick a chick, she's got to be hot.
People making guides for the characters. I see people making these hardcore missions, very challenging content with only 1 character. So it's that type of game. Very funny what I did. I'm like level 20. I'm very early in the game. I'm like 6 hours in. I found like this level 40 world boss, and I'm very under leveled, right? But I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna do myself a challenge here, and I was just stabbing this world boss to death.
I always do that. If I like just so happen to come up on it, there's a part of me where I'm like, you don't have time, they're too strong for you, like, just move on. And the other part of me is like, nah, I want a challenge. It's fate. It is fate that has brought him in front of me. And then I go, and sometimes you kick their ass, sometimes you lose. When you lose, you're like, damn, all right, I gotta level up. But when you kick their ass, you're like, I am him.
Me like 10 minutes to defeat this boss, but it actually was so much fun. And it's exactly this type of game, this open world experience that you maybe look for, where you kind of, you know, want to do some funny stuff, some really unexpected stuff. Maybe you go to the more challenging bosses, to the parts that you haven't explored yet, and you just challenge these world bosses, because there's a bunch of them. Hork the Roamer, that's the one that I just did. And you can see there's like 9 or 8 different world bosses in this game. They're just roaming around in the open world, and they were actually quite challenging. This one boss was already quite difficult. You can revive your character.
This game looks cool. It looks like a Nintendo game to me. It looks like a little above mobile, but it's still Nintendo, like not past Nintendo. And it's not my vibe either. Not my typical go-to, not my aesthetic. But that's the thing. That's what got me into MMOs in general, is they weren't my thing, and I wanted to try it out, and now I'm enjoying them. I mean, I'm loving Guild Wars 2. Part of me is even wanting to go try Classic WoW, because as I told you in the past, all I've honestly played was, I got a taste in Shadowlands, didn't play that. The Dragon one came out, I played about half of that, and that was it. I liked it, it was cool. Didn't play, 2 years? It was been 2-3 years, and then I decided to play Guild Wars 2, and I've been loving it. And now I want to go back and I want to try Classic WoW, because I want to get that OG gameplay, and all of the stuff about Classic Plus has me super interested. So that's where I'm sitting at, because I now got plenty of time of just playing Guild Wars, and part of me wants to wait to see what's up with Classic Plus. Like, I won't play Classic. I'll just wait for Classic Plus to come out, depending what the situation is, how that game's set up. Because a big reason why I haven't played WoW Classic is because everyone knew everything, right? Everybody's been playing this for the last 20 years, and I genuinely don't know shit. And I don't want to be the noob or the dumbass and ruining the dungeon, the raids, the mission, or whatever you're doing. So that is kind of holding me back a little. If not, if I do play it, I'll just take it slow and roll solo and take my time with it. I don't even know if it would be worth streaming, honestly. I'll just do it on my spare time if I have any. I don't even play games on the weekend or the weekdays, honestly. But yeah, let's get back to DragonSword Awakening. It looks good, but it's not my go-to aesthetic.
You can heal your characters with food. Well, of course, it's just a limited amount that I had at the beginning. So yeah, I'm still like tinkering around, trying to build my characters, make them stronger, leveling up the talents, you know, typical Genshin stuff you would expect from a skill-based and team-based game. So far, I only have 6 characters, which are Charlotte, which is Arya. You get her very early in the beginning just from doing the story. This is the character you start with. Lute, which you can also heal. He's pretty good. So there is also different roles in the game. I think she's somewhat more
she looks like she's ready to beat ass.
He's like an assassin kind of, and she's like a mage. I think for $30, you look at a very good game. I think it is about like 15 hours story mode. And then you, of course, have all the open world content, because you run around with your mounts here that I just got for free in the store on Steam. They give this away for free right now for the launch of the game. So there's mounts in the game. Sorry, I haven't mentioned it yet. So you roam around in the game and you kill
when
like
did
these
this game
monsters,
come
you open
out?
chests. There's puzzles as well.
I haven't heard
You
a
can
single
unlock the
thing about
map,
this.
And as you can see, the map is pretty big. I have not explored at all. I think there's also a bunch of challenging content late game, which is maybe the hunts or the raids that I don't even have yet. And there is also co-op content. So for everybody who's asking maybe in the comments already, can you play this game co-op? So far, I only found this game mode that you play in co-op. So you can invite people, you create a lobby, and then you can go on to these hunts, which is pretty much boss fights. Just did this one solo because I don't have anybody to play with right now. But there's like an invite code. You can invite your friends from Steam, which is 2-player co-op.
I know the pain, brother. I know the pain.
Only, which is interesting because this game was not planned as this type of experience. This game was planned as a gacha game, right? Because they had like some issues with their publisher. The publisher didn't want to pay them money, and they pretty much decided, yep, that's it. We're gonna remove the gacha. We're gonna do our own thing. We're gonna make this a $30 game. You get every character for free, and look at it.
The publisher pissed them off so bad. The publisher pissed them off so bad. They were like, we're gonna make a game like how games are supposed to be made. We're not gonna be money hungry.
Guys, sitting at 92% positive with over
July 23rd.
800 reviews.
It's been out for a month.
For open world game, this is very, very impressive. Turns out if you remove the gacha monetization, turn it into a single player game with the addictive combat loop, you end up with a really good game. And that's exactly the issue that gacha games have, because they limit you so much, they focus so much on these predatory monetizations that a lot of the fun gets lost, because the initial idea of looting monsters, getting better gear, getting bigger numbers is such an addictive loop, and you get exactly this type of loop here. What I've also been noticing is that they actually put out a lot of updates since the game's launch. You can just look at the Steam community tab.
Holy
just
moly.
post a lot of stuff. One of the more recent posts actually just announced summer skins. If you see it here, new DLCs, because there is DLCs you can buy.
Makes me want to
It's
get the
just
game.
cosmetics though, and amounts what I've seen. So nothing predatory guys at all in this game. But if you want to support them, maybe buy the DLC. If you like summer skins, I already bought them. And even better than this is they also announced a roadmap. So the game already announced
bought them.
4 new characters are coming. So this is somewhat of a live service game, I would say. They just announced 4 characters with Ryza, Jerome, Veronica,
Jerome. That dude don't look like a Jerome.
The second half of the year. And the best news about this, these 4 heroes are included in this version. If you have the $30 game, you get these characters for free, which is pretty cool. I'm always excited to check out new characters because getting new characters means new gameplay. They also announced here they are working on hero quests, so there's going to be more story content. The hero quests are the main story of the game. There's going to be a rift system, so I think this is something like an open world kind of events. Rift appears across.
So I don't really complain that much about games that have a reasonable price with, what do you say, 15 hours of just linear story, but then he still has all that map and all the dungeons and raids that he still can do and players still unlock. So you're obviously getting way more than the 15 hours gameplay. Like, that's not just the gameplay, it's more than that. When a game puts that like 20 something $30 price tag and that's the setup, I all for it, you know? I don't expect to have a 500-hour game, you know what I mean? Like, with that price, I feel like that's what you should expect for that price.
The world, letting you travel to other dimensions for
and
combat.
They're constantly updating it, so that's really awesome.
A bunch of other stuff, balance adjustments. So the future of this game looks quite bright. They also announced just that they had sold.
Bro, that's what Guild Wars needs to do, unless I'm doing it wrong. The fall, I think you should be able to summon or unsummon your mount mid-air. The movement would be so sick if you could do that. Like, watch this.
Adjustments. So the future of this game looks quite bright. They also announced just that they had sold 200,000 copies in the first week. And right off the bat, they announced this game will now come to multiple platforms. They already announced they're working on a PlayStation 5 version for the game. So console players can be happy. And it's also coming to a Nintendo console. This could mean it's coming to Switch or it's coming to Switch 2. But yeah, I'm very excited for the future of this game. As I said, me as a gacha player, I always wanted to play these games without these restrictions, getting every character for free, just for playing the game without having this annoying stamina stuff, just unlimited farming, doing these domains and stuff. And yeah, I will definitely get my fun out of this now 7 hours in. And this is pretty much it with the video, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for watching.
Hey, what an ending.
Let me know actually in the comments section what you guys think about DragonSword Awakening. Did they do the right choice about not being a gacha game?
100%. 100%.
And thank you guys for watching. I will see you hopefully in the next one. Subscribe for more. Give this a like. And have a good day, everybody.
Hey, look, that was a pretty good video, Kydro. He told us what we wanted. You know, we got to know what the game offered. Got to know the price. We got to know what style it was. Y'all, give him a like and a sub. Let's look into the game a little, huh? Let's look into the game. What's it called? DragonSword? DragonSword Awakening. Alright. The deluxe edition is the one that comes with everything. You get your wolf. Well, that's free. You get the bathing suits. So all that's $19. But the game itself, it's $30. Or you could get a 10% off bundle for $44. Got some images. Oh, dude, that dragon dude, he actually looks pretty badass. Like, oh, that's pretty sick. Worm with a butthole mouth. Okay. Evil Wizard of Oz tree. I don't know what they're fighting there. I like the art style. I do like it. It's like got that good combination of anime art, 3D. It's like a good blend. Oh, she's just riding a cat. that is probably one of the most like amazing feelings, especially when you hop on that thing and you're just like ching 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 ching, or like loading up and you're just like and you like fall down and you just, God, it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. Dang, dude. I didn't hear about this at all. I can't justify this game, buying this game, when I want Mortal Shell 2. And I'm holding off on Mortal Shell 2, dude. I'm holding off.